G'day everybody, welcome to my video. Today we're going to discuss harvesters. Now before I start, I will warn you, I do not know much about the subject. I've only been experimenting with them for the last few days, and it is a PvP subject, and I do not know much about PvP in Fallen Earth. But hopefully I can show you some basics. It seems pretty easy what I've done so far the last few days, so I'll show you some basics. Now, the thing is, to use a harvester, you have to be near a certain level keep. Now, I've made two harvesters here. As you can see here, it says it has to be placed near level 20 or higher territory control area near keep or your faction. Now, according to the wiki, a keep or control point is well enough for it. So, now, unfortunately, I am tech. And tech's probably the smallest faction in the game, so we don't often have PvP zones. And you can see here, Tika Dam's Enforcer, that's probably Chota or nobody. So techs don't have a PvP zone in Sector 2 for me. If you go to the district, there is one here. There's one here and one here. So, but the district is a open PvP for all levels. So technically, I can get ganked by level 55 here, and basically, make it totally not worthwhile. But so far, all the harvesting I've done so far, last couple of days, I haven't seen a single person. Ever since I've been in Classic and gone to PvP sites to harvest mats, I've seen 5 people out of the 50 times I've gone there, maybe. And they haven't shot at me either. So it's pretty calm these days in Classic compared to what it was before in original FE. So it's pretty safe. Now, where you harvest, it actually depends. There's actually sweet spots, but there's no way of knowing. There used to be an item in the marketplace called Prospector, which helps you find a good harvesting spots, but we don't have that anymore, so it's kind of random. Maybe a professional PvPer knows better, I don't know. Now, there's 3 levels of working rates you can find on the wiki. Basically saying, and depending on the level, it depends on how much you will get out of that particular location. So a basic level will not give you many goods at all, but you will still make a profit anyway. But it's very basic at the lowest tier. At the highest tier, you will get a hell of a lot more resources, about 4 times much more resources, 3 times more resources. So now I've done some testing with this already. I tried to bring a Rothium harvester here, but which is a level 55 harvester, but it was too high for me. So I've made 2 harvesters here. This is a level 20 harvester, and I'm only level 15. And this is a 15 one, just in case I can't use a level 21. Now, this character has just turned 15. All I have done with it is done the basic intro, let's join the text quest. So I haven't done anything else to get a faction or anything of that. So hopefully this is enough to put the harvester down at the minimum level. Now, to place the harvester, all you do is hit use. Now, you see I've put my horse over here. Horses, nodes, and things, just basic terrain, will block you from basically placing down things like harvesters, tents, and farms. So, now, but this should be far enough away. So let's try it. Okay, looks like I can spawn a level 20 item here. Okay. Now when you click on it, you'll get these options. You can collect what's being harvested. Of course, you just put it down so there's nothing. Now the bin will fill up. This bin here will fill up to 100, and then it will give you a warning. And in a space of 3 hours, it will roughly collect 300. So it's not that much in the bin. The real goods are in these nodes that spawn around it. Now, because we just started the harvester, it defaults to just 1 bin every 3 minutes. So at first, it's really, really boring. But if we have found a level 2 node in 1 hour's time, it will increase to 2 nodes every 2 minutes. But a level 3 node will increase at 45 minutes to 2 nodes for 2 minutes. And the longer we stay here, the higher level nodes will increase more and more barrels. Like a level 2 node at 2 hours and a half to go will be spawning 5 barrels every 3 minutes, while the level 3 node will be spawning 7 barrels every 3 minutes at 15 minutes to go. So the longer you stay, the more chance of a node coming, more nodes coming up. Now I'm going to pause it here because you don't want to watch 3 hours of me playing with this harvester, and I'll just put and bring it up the video as we go along to show the more important bits. Now, before I forget, I forgot to mention this harvest itself can only be collected by the person who owns it, so no one can collect what's in the harvester, but anybody can collect these barrels that pick up. So basically, if somebody kills you, they can take over your harvester. They can't access or destroy the harvester you created. They can loot the move, the barrels that spawn, or the nodes that spawn around your harvester. Also, if you're really paranoid and you're worried about getting killed, you can increase your radar to zoom it out so you can see somebody coming in. And you can play with your WHO settings. So basically, so if anybody spawns or comes nearby, I should see him. But to be honest, some people will keep this open and be worried. The worst thing that can go wrong, somebody comes along and kills me, and you get that. Basically, it's not a big deal, so I'm not worried, and it's basically so. And, okay guys, it's now an hour and 10 minutes into the harvester, and you can see there's only 1 barrel spawning, so this means I've got the lowest tier site possible, so I'm going to get the lowest yield from this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you a high tier site. As you can see, it also shows you the time up here, how much is in the bin. Now, you should remove the stuff regularly from the bin, because you can only put 400, but I'm not going to, so I'll show you the warning when it comes up that your bin's full. Just a bit of a warning, this running harvesters is very boring. I'm basically waiting every 3 minutes to spawn 1 node. Now, if the site was a higher tier site, I'd be spawning 2 nodes, harvesting 2 nodes at a time right now, up to 5 nodes later on if it was a mid-tier site. But at a time, it still gets pretty boring. But that's part of life. I'm sitting here just watching chat and basically watching a show on my other screens, so that's all you can do. Okay, as you can see here, it says my harvester is full. So what you do is you click on the harvester and you hit collect items, and everything goes into your inventory, as you can see here. Yeah, basically, I would suggest you collect the item before it becomes full. I just wanted to show you that it gives you the warnings. Okay, as you can see here in chat, we've gotten our first 15-minute warning. Let us know basically that the harvest is running out of fuel. And as you can see, we haven't got that much scrap plastic this time. Even according to the wiki, that we should be having like an extra maybe 50 to maybe 70 plastic, but this has been obviously a really bad spot, so. Okay, as you can see here, we are down to the 4-minute warning. So I can wait a bit longer to basically collect them for a couple more minutes, but I want to show you something else. So on a different tune next. So I'll be right back in a minute, and basically with another character. Okay, just before we go, I just want to discuss the harvesters and the individual harvesters. Now, a lot of these harvesters I don't think are really worth even making, to be honest. Scrap copper, scrap iron. You can buy a lot of these mats at the shops, and it's not worth sitting there for 3 hours picking it up. A scrap glass may be, but it said if you take a road trip to New Flagstaff at level 5 to unlock the waypoint there, and you can go there anytime to get that anyway. Scrap plastic, yes, that's always a handy thing to have. Weak petroleum, if you're going to be making your own fuel for your cars, that's cool, that's okay. The rest of this stuff, no. I said the rest, no. Scrap carbon steel, yeah, you probably want a harvester for that if you're going to use harvesters. You might do this, but you can still buy it in shops. Ceramics, there's very little need for ceramics. You do need it here and there, but it's not very important, so I wouldn't. Scrap titanium, yes, you probably want to make a harvester with this one. Impure petroleum, yep, you might want that. You might, depending what you're doing. Salvage plastic, so some of us go through a lot of that. Scrap circuits, if you're going to be building cars and stuff, high-level cars, you may need scrap circuits. Average gears you can refine, so can you refine improved rubber. Salvage carbon steel, definitely you want that at a high level. This may be common steel you can refine. They said salvage ceramic, there's not much need for it, so you might not use a harvester for it, and you just buy it in small amounts as you need it. Salvage titanium, yeah, you may want a harvester for that. Polished glass, for some buildings you may want that, but depending on how much you're building the buildings for, you may not want it. Common plastic, yeah, they said you can get common plastic pretty easy as well other places, so it's up to you. But Rhothium you do want to make the GT armor, the top level armor. There's 3 different versions of it. To make that armor, you need 3,000 Rhothium. So that's a lot of Rhothium. Now, the build today where we went and harvested, we got very little, about 320 scrap plastic. Now last night I did a harvest with 4 of my main characters doing Rhothium, and I got almost 20 stacks of Rhothium with that. And there were so many nodes by the end of it that were spawning that I couldn't loot them all. But I always had a node to loot, so I kept on looting, so I was getting tons of it. The harvester I tried was for salvage alloy steel, salvage carbon steel, sorry. And that basically, I got about 8 stacks of that from one harvester. So I said, unfortunately, the plastic yield wasn't very good, but you can get lucky and get good yield out of harvesters. And as you saw, no one came and killed me. So it was all good day. Hope you liked your video, and hope you have better luck and better yields than I did in my video when you try harvesters.